Shall we start, ma'am?
Yeah, we can start, Shafi.
Hello everyone present here virtually. I am Nalini here and I welcome you all for today's session, which is titled as Tips on How to Present in a VIVA. And presenting this session, we have with us our today's expert, uh, Mugneshwari Sahadevan ma'am. Mugneshwari Sahadevan ma'am is an assistant principal at NSS Bank, Rankyat UUM, which leads students' activities and programs. She received the Best Presenter Award, International Conference on Kaizen Management, Social Science and Technology, uh, 2019. Without wasting much time, I am welcome to um, Mugneshwari Sahadevan, ma'am. You may start now, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Sakshi, for the wonderful introduction. Okay, hi everyone, those who are like watching from the Facebook, watching from YouTube. Okay, wherever you are watching. Okay, hi to everyone. Good afternoon to everyone. Good evening. Good morning. Okay, maybe you are watching from different time zone. Okay, I'm Dr. Mugi. You may call me Mugi. Okay, and currently I'm a researcher. Okay, who are doing research on the particular research on the international business, where I'm focusing on the strategy asset seeking and the multinational enterprises. Okay, and as per today, like our topic is going to be about the tips about on how to survive on this VIVA. Okay, I think all of us, for those who are doing undergraduates or postgraduates, especially PhD, we have to, VIVA is like our final journey, which is going to be determine our, our journey for the past 4 years. No. Okay, it could be like 3 years or 4 years your PhD. Okay, your PhD could be 3 years or 4 years or might be 5 years. Okay, but the what we call like the exact, okay, not the exact, like that the final journey of our PhD will be VIVA. Okay, and it's like most weighted and the most I think most nervous moment in our life. And I completed my VIVA in 2020, 2020. Okay, September 2020. Because of the COVID, because of the pandemic, I'm not able to attend the VIVA face to face. Okay, this happened virtually, and I completed my PhD at Durham University, UK. And it's really like, it's like the 4 years journey is kind of like, it's like worth it for, worth it for wait. Okay, once the examiners call you as a doctor. Okay, so there are like two like perspective, if you want to look into the VIVA. Okay, one is from the perspective of the student, another one perspective of the examiner. And for today, what I'm going to share with all of you is a perspective of the student. Okay, when I was as a student, what are the tips that we can follow when we want to attend the VIVA. And it's not necessary for you, our journey is not going to be the same. Okay, because the VIVA is like, even the duration of the VIVA is kind of different for everyone. Okay, for my senior, he just like he's completed his VIVA with the examiners within like 1 hour, and mine is like a 2 hours. And one of my friends is like almost like a 2 and 45 hours. Okay, so the time is like, the duration of the VIVA is not going to be similar. If your friend said, okay, I completed my VIVA session within 1 hour, please don't expect that like the thing is going to happen same as what did, as what happened to your friend. Okay, it could be earlier, it could be more longer. Okay, but whenever, okay, doesn't matter, whenever like you attend your VIVA virtually or face to face, the moment is going to be like, the process is going to be same. Okay, the process is going to be similar as what we are going through in the face to face session. Okay, so before we start that, okay, I'm going to like give a brief about what are the agenda that we are going to be discuss about for today's topic. Okay, the first thing is that we are going to discuss about the VIVA as what I discussed earlier. VIVA is like from two perspective. Okay, one is from the students and examiners. Okay, so maybe perspective of the examiners, okay, they have like a different expectation they do expect from the students. But when come perspective of the students, I think most of us were over here as a students, and I assume as myself as a student, still as a student. Okay, so I'm going to share with you about this, VIVA, what are the process, okay, have to be gone through by the students. Okay, the second thing is a preparation, third is a questions, and four is a tips or discussion. Maybe we can have some discussion with the participants if there are any questions. Okay, so the first thing is like the questions when VIVA. I think maybe like maybe like nowadays we are like aware about this VIVA. What is the VIVA? Okay, why we need the VIVA, and where, when, and so on. Okay, we can ask so many questions regarding about the VIVA. Okay, so the purpose of VIVA is like it's just kind of like it kind of like a nightmare for everyone, for those who are going for the VIVA. But when like we have to instill the intention, like I'm going for the VIVA because like I'm going to answer the questions. Okay, I'm going to questions regarding about the research. Okay, in the VIVA they're going to ask about the questions related to your research. I can assure you that the exam is not going to like it's very like it's very rare case where examiner is going to ask something out of your research. Okay, it's very rare case. Okay, but mostly in the mostly as what I heard from my seniors, okay, my juniors were going like they just completed, one of my junior is just completed her VIVA last 2 weeks. Okay, so similar, like the research, the examiner is going to questions some okay, if they have some uncertainties or they have some doubts on your some particular information in your thesis. That's why like they want to conduct the VIVA. Okay, but it's quite different those who are doing PhD at Australia. Okay, at Australia they don't have VIVA. However, like they have like a very mini presentation. Okay, mini presentation where they have to explain about the research. Then they will have some discussion with the research committee. Okay, who's that? Deepak Kumar. Okay, in UK, this is a compulsory for you to go for the VIVA. Okay, and then I think I remember I joined my PhD in 2000 end of the 2015. Okay, so we have the first year review. Okay, second year review and third year review. Okay, once the third year review, we have to like complete it. Okay, within like a 6 to 9 months or I think 1 year, we have to complete it and submit for the VIVA as sooner they can. Okay, so I submit my VIVA. Okay, and then they have like the process like took like almost like 3 months to get a feedback from the examiner whether they are willing to be as an examiner. Okay, so it's all be like, once you submit to the VIVA, it will be handled by the management. It will be like managed by the department. Okay, the staff at the department, they will arrange, your supervisor will arrange your examiners. Okay, my advice, like, when you're going to select, okay, when you're going to select the examiner, I think, like, it's better to let your supervisor to choose who are the examiners for your VIVA, because he knows, okay, when they're choosing the examiners, they're going to choose their examiners from among them, okay, among them who are like, they have worked together, or they might be, done their PhD together, or they have done some research together. Okay, this is kind of like, is your VIVA. Okay, if you are like, you are like adamant, like, you want to choose examiner based on your choice, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think the risk will be like, it's quite the risk is quite high over there, because maybe the examiner is not, it's just like just looking into your thesis, but you don't have a good rapport with your examiner which you chose. Okay, but if it's chosen by your supervisor, okay, it will be ease your VIVA, because your supervisor know who are you, okay, and what is your work. Okay, he might be like, explaining to the examiner, okay, this student A, so and so, okay, she or he is doing a particular research, okay, on this, okay, this is the process that we went through, all those things. Okay, so they will have some good rapport between the supervisor and the examiner, and when you're attending the VIVA with the examiner, that examiner is have some ideas, earlier, because of their supervisor. Okay, so that's why, like, when it comes to me, my supervisor gave me like two options. Either you want to choose by yourself, or you want me to choose for you. So I asked him to choose for me. Okay, I say I'm not familiar with these examiners. Okay, so you might me know what is my, you are knowing what is my job, my work. Okay, you know what is my thesis, you know what I've been through. Okay, you know what is the journey of our thesis. So I think that's the best option that I can, the best option that I can say is, you are the one who chose the examiner for me. So that's how it's happened. Okay, so when and who, okay, what, why, where, it's all depend, like, it's depend with your staff department. Okay, the why is because this, like, this is like our final battle. Okay, I will call this the final battle for us to defend our thesis. Okay, to defend our, to defend our research, okay, to the examiners. Okay, we have been doing this research for almost like, 3 years or 4 years or 5 years, or maybe up to that, more than that. Okay, so this is the final battle that we can, like, convince the examiner, I can be the independent researcher. Okay, this is my research which I have been doing for 3 years. Okay, this is the contribution which I can contribute for the knowledge. Okay, this is what is like, I found, which is can be used, okay, for the this is the novelty of my research, and so on, so on. Okay, so there's that, like, there's a VIVA. Okay, so I think maybe I'm saying so because I'm already completed the process. Okay, I know, like, the first time when I received my VIVA, okay, the date of my VIVA. Okay, I think I didn't sleep, like, when the date is like, the day is tomorrow is my VIVA. I didn't sleep for 2 or 3 days. Okay, I was like thinking what the examiner is going to question me. Okay, will I like pass my VIVA? Okay, what is going to happen for my thesis? Okay, what is going to happen for my PhD? Do examiners going to accept my thesis? Do they accept my when I'm going to present in front of them? Are they going to, like, accept what I'm going to present? So many things is wondering in my mind. Okay, but once completed, I will say, like, I think I didn't think anything. I was like sitting at the corner of my room, and I was thinking, I have completed my PhD. Is it true? Like, my parents, like, I went to my mom and asked, Ma, I already finished, I already completed my PhD. I already done with my VIVA. So is it, when like the examiner called me doctor, it's kind of like, I'm in like a dreamland. Is it like something like, is it is it real? Like, is it real? The examiner is calling me doctor. Okay, so but I can, like, what I can share with the participants, just be relaxed. Okay, just be relaxed. Okay, this is just part of the process. Okay, doesn't matter you become a nervous, or you are like you're fainting in front of the examiner. The process is going to be like the same. Okay, it doesn't matter how many times you're going for the VIVA, the process is going to be same. Okay, the examiner is going to ask the questions. Okay, the 100 million question over here is, what are the questions going to be asked by the examiners? Okay, that's the question. Okay, so we can, like, the thing from our side is, like, we have to prepare from mentally that we have to be ready, like, open for the question from the examiners. Okay, so just be relaxed. Okay, just be relaxed. Okay, so what should I do? What should you do before your viva? Okay, okay, this is the, like, very very common, like, it's very common, like, for everyone. You have to know your thesis. Okay, the truth, like, truth behind the viva is, the examiners just really want to know whether you are the one who did the thesis. Because I think, right, like, recently, like, recently we are like hearing a lot of cases where, like, people, like, students are, like, they are like paying someone, okay, to do their thesis. And it's happened, like, it's happened at Malaysia as well. Like, I went for this one of the proposal defense at my department, and I was there for the, like, a second, like, I'm kind of like a second examiner. Okay, so my senior colleagues was the first examiner, so I was like a second examiner who didn't give it too much of comment. Okay, I'm just like giving to the presentation of the student. Okay, while the student is like presenting, like, presenting her work, she's kind of quite like confident with her thesis, like, she can present well in front of us. And then we kind of like impressed with her, the way of her presentation. But when we look into the thesis, my senior, he identified like some of like some like he like identify some like some copy and paste. Can see, like, something's not related to the thesis. And then he start to questions the student. Okay, what is your research questions? Okay, what is, like, you have done this quantitative, like, you have done this quantitative and you adopt this survey. Okay, can you explain to us? The student is not able to answer that questions. Okay, she not able to answer the process of the research which she did. Okay, but while she's presenting the work, she's like quite like, she's quite confident, and she's able to articulate all this presentation in a right way. But when we question from the base of the thesis, she's not able to answer that. So we suspect something is wrong over there. And then, yeah, as we suspected, she did, like, she paid someone to do the, to write down the thesis. And then she take the very, like, she took some important points to be part of the presentation. But unfortunately, she's not able, she's like, she can't predict that, what the examiner is going to ask her. So that's why I say, whatever it is your thesis. Okay, it is your research. Okay, I'm not saying, like, you can't go and consult with the people. Okay, you can go and consult people, but end of the day, this is your work. You have to do the work. Okay, because when the examiner is going to question you from the something from the unknown, from the unknown, somewhere from the unknown area. Okay, some unknown, like, you missed that the particular details. Okay, you're going to be end up in a, you're going to be end up in a problem. Okay, so whatever it is, whether it's a hard, okay, you're not able to finish it. Okay, just go and consult someone, but write it by your own. Okay, don't worry about this, because at the end of the day, in your viva, you are there, you're going to defend your viva with your examiners. Okay, so you have to know your thesis. Okay, during my viva preparation, okay, I think I remember each by, like, I read, just like, I didn't like memorize all the content of my thesis. It's almost like 300 pages. Okay, I didn't like I didn't memorize everything, but I took I just kind of like analyze my thesis by my own. Okay, I look by chapter. Okay, what are the questions going to be asked by the going to be asked by the examiner? What is the possible questions by asked by the examiners? Okay, so from the background of the study up to the discussion, okay, I'm very sure they're going to ask these questions, because my supervisor also like share some questions. Okay, I asked my seniors, okay, what are the questions question asked by the examiners. Okay, that's how we have to prepare our VIVA. Okay, so you have to discuss, you can discuss with your with your senior. Nowadays we have this privilege. Okay, we are having YouTube, we are having a lot of courses, like we have like a lot of seminars. Okay, they're sharing on this VIVA, what I know how to prepare the VIVA. Okay, so I hope, okay, my session is going to be useful as well as you. Okay, the second thing is this make notes. Okay, as what I mentioned earlier. Okay, I try to think from the perspective of the examiners. Okay, what do really they want to know from my thesis? Okay, that's how I make my notes. Okay, what they really want to know. Okay, so I focus on the methodology, I focus on literature review. Okay, I prepare all these current studies. Okay, what the latest studies for my research. Okay, and then I do some like a revision. Okay, and then I found out like there are some new articles is like in the publisher. So I note it down all these articles. So when the examiner asked me, can you share with us what is the recent studies that you seen in your in your research? So I will say, okay, I never included in my thesis. However, when I was doing my revision, I found out these the articles are like available, which is like related to my studies. From example, Chari 2021, okay, Chari 2020, Chari 2019, okay. So all of them, all of these articles are kind of like literally new, and then it's related to my thesis. So when you're answering like this, okay, to the examiners can catch, because they are like experienced people. Okay, they are like been in that research field more than 20 or 30 years. Okay, they can they can easily identify whether you're saying what you are saying is what you are saying is reliable or not. Okay, so when you're saying like this, okay, I have do some revisions. Okay, I have done some revisions. Okay, this is blah blah blah. So they know that, okay, the students is really doing some revisions, and she knows or he knows her thesis. Okay, from there they can see that, okay, when you can answer the questions like accordingly as what they pose to you. So it's like they know that, okay, the students she's the one or did the research. Okay, so please be aware with that. Okay, it's nothing wrong, as I said. Okay, it's nothing wrong to consult people. Okay, we have like a consultant agency, something like that for thesis. It's nothing wrong, but whatever it is, write down your own thesis. Okay, for your for your own advantage. Okay, because I think I think it's kind of like a waste of time if you did something like that, and then end of the day it's be caught by the examiners. You just wasted your journey, your time is like for 3 or 4 years. Okay, so first of things, know your thesis. Okay, read it, understand it, and then you can end of the day. Okay, end of your PhD. Okay, PhD or master, you know about your topic. Okay, so when you're reading your thesis, you can identify some mistakes, you can identify some reservations happening, which is existing in your thesis. Okay, from there you make notes. Okay, highlight important points. Okay, and then when the time is done, okay, you have to present in front of the examiner. Take that time, take that opportunity, okay, to explain to your ideas to the examiners. Okay, maybe some of the examiners, they are they are being them. Okay, they are being there. Maybe they are not actually out of your field. Maybe they're not focused on the the topic which you have been done. Okay, topic means not your title. I mean the topic of your topic, research topic. Okay, so my examiners, I remember my first examiner is a prof from the London Holloway London University. She's kind of doing she's her major expertise is on these multinational enterprises. However, my second examiner is about marketing. Okay, so he's kind of he's he's listening to my presentation. Okay, and then he just mentions it. He was like kind of like interested to know more about the strategy as seeking and multinational enterprises, about business group, okay, and the role of government in assisting these multinational enterprises. Okay, because he said, okay, because he's a marketing, so he's just focused on the digital marketing, okay, virtual marketing. But this is kind of a new topic for him. So he listened to me with it like much interested, okay, much interested. And then I got a lot of questions from him because he wanted to know about my topic. So because I did some revision, because I have made some important points, okay, and I know my thesis, I know about my research, it's easier for me to explain to him, okay. Compared to my first examiner, she asked me questions, but she understand what is my thesis all about. But compared to my second examiner, where he want like much interested in knowing my new topic, okay, it's new topic for him, so he asked a lot of questions. Okay, how did I retrieve my data from the database Orbis? Okay, how did I like do the process? Okay, so when they listen for all of that, okay, when I'm like listing down, okay, what are the first steps when I'm retrieving data from the database, okay, and just up to the data analysis, how I run the data in the data, okay, why, what are the process, okay. For the data analysis itself, like, I run my data for almost like a 3 or 4 times, okay, because I didn't get the data, the result as what I want for my result, for my research. Okay, so when they hear all of this, okay, they know that, okay, she's the one who did the research. Okay, so that's why I say in VIVA, it's like, it's like a place for you to explain to them, okay, what you have done, okay, for the 3 years, 4 years, what you have done, okay, what is the contribution, what is so novelty about your research. Okay, so when the examiners read, they may have some different perspective. Okay, when you're explaining to them, they may change the they may change their they may change their perspective, or they may stand they stay firm with the expectation, or they stay firm with the perspective. Okay, so this is like presentation, like, I'm kind of like disagree when people like, they say Viva is like we have like a killer questions. This is like a something like these questions are like a compulsory questions are asked by the by examiners. Okay, it's depend on your examiners. Okay, on the day, the Viva day, it will be like some, I will say, like, it's like you can't predict what is going to happen, like, I know, like, my friend, like, she downloaded like 100 or 200 questions, some possible questions to be asked in the Viva. Okay, it's not nothing wrong with that, but I'm very sure it's not going to be asked by the examiners. Okay, they have their own way to ask your, their own way for them to clarify about your research. Okay, but what I can say over here is, okay, this is kind of like, they were like, I'm very sure they were going to ask, okay, about the novelty of your research. Okay, the first thing is like, the first question asked by the examiners is like, I remember the first question asked by the prof Hui. She asked me, what did you like, what is, sorry, what is the, okay, she asked me, what is the contribution for your knowledge. Okay, what do you think your research is something new for the field? Okay, that's how, like, that's like we are going to discuss about the significance of the study. Okay, we are going to highlight about the research gap that we found, and then how it's related to the topic, okay, the field of our research. Okay, so this, like, the first thing is like, they will ask you the contribution. Okay, what is the contribution? They're definitely going to ask that. Okay, what is the research gap? They may ask you in a different words. Okay, what's the research gap? What is, like, what do you think is like a major contribution of your research for the current field of international business? Do you think your study is going to be complement, okay, going to be complement with the findings, with the previous finding by the other scholars? Okay, so what is your methodology? In the methodology, okay, they are going to in the methodology itself, they will know whether you are the one who did the research. Okay, as I said, like, when Prof. Hui and Prof. Zach, they asked me about the methodology, how did I retrieve the data from the database, okay, from the process A up to the process Z, okay, that's how I explained that. I explained to them, okay, I have to like go for the Orbis, okay, this is like that, it's kind of like I'm sharing my experience with them. How did I I retrieve get the data on and how I went for the interview, and how did I like interview the people and the key people of the at the company, okay, how did I manage to get the appointments, okay, all of this, like, you are like a storytelling your research with the facts, okay, it's kind of like, you're going to tell you storytelling to your friends, okay, but with the facts, okay, with the reference with the studies, previous studies, okay, that's like there's a VIVA, okay, you just remember when you're in the VIVA, you're storytelling you are like telling them, you are sharing your experience, you're sharing your story with your friends, but with the facts, okay, you are like referring to the previous studies, you are referring to the you are referring to the what we call like you're referring to the articles, okay, so they will ask you about the key findings, okay, that's the first thing. So the key finding is your contribution, okay, did you contribute something compared to the prior studies, okay, or do you like you still agree with the prior study where they say there's a relationship between job satisfaction and employer attitude, okay, do you going to agree with that, or you disagree? So no, job satisfaction is not have any relationship with the employer's attitude, something like that, okay, why this, so on so on, you explain what is the key findings of your research, and then you will like support with the prior studies, okay, so and then you'll ask you why you choose this method, okay, why you choose this method, why did you choose the qualitative, because mostly in the research international business, they're doing survey, and then they ask me why you like choose this Orbis, okay, why you want to choose Orbis, and then why you did case study, you did two, okay, I did two method in my thesis. One is a quantitative and qualitative case study, and I choose I took the data from the database and I run into the startup. Okay, so it's complicated process, but I managed to do that. Okay, thank to the God for that. Okay, so they asked me again, why you did like a two method, okay, what is like a significant, or okay, what is the significance of this two method, did you find something, did you find something which is going to be contribute? So this is the questions, like you will like followed, it will be like followed by the examiners, okay, they will ask what is the findings from there, okay, so and another thing which they will ask by the examiners, okay, another thing will ask by the examiner, they will ask you whether you want to go by chapter or randomly, okay, so I go chapter by chapter because easier for me, it's like a kind of organized, because like we can like we can think like what are the questions like in the first chapter, second chapter, third chapter, and so on, okay, so I choose like a chapter by chapter, and that's how like they're going like the examiner from the first chapter, okay, on this paragraph, okay, on the 2.1 you mentioned about the research gap, and then you mentioned about this contribution to the methodology, could you please explain me more on this methodology? So that's how they're going to start, okay, they'll start, and then that's how like after like a 5 to 10 minutes you will get comfortable because you're explaining your research to your examiners, and the examiners like they will be like much interested with you, okay, and then again the examiners is like it's like that's why I say it's very important for you to ask your supervisor to choose the examiners, okay, because like they have the good rapport, and they're not going to like they're not going to like twisting your questions or make you uncomfortable, okay, so because I chose my supervisor, the one who chose the examiners, is quite easier, it's quite easier for me to interact with them, okay, because like as I said, Dr. Zach, okay, from the department, the guy is from marketing department, so he's much interested in knowing my research, so it's like it's easy, it's comfortable for me to explain to him, okay, every time when I'm explaining to him, he will nod his head, okay, so it's like it's showing like they interact with us, okay, so remember that like it's absolute, at the end of the day it's your choice, okay, but what as I survive my Viva, okay, I will say like, let your supervisor did that job. Okay, let him or she to choose the examiners. Okay, they will choose the someone the best for you to, because they know your, they know your journey better. Your supervisor know your journey better than others. Okay, so okay, and I in in UK, like in UK, I don't have like, we're not presenting our Viva with the slides. Okay, we just like, spontaneously answering the questions posed by the examiners. Okay, and I remember like, I don't have like, when my friends at Malaysia, they are asking for the Viva slide. I say I don't have slides for my Viva. We just like a spontaneously answering to the examiners. Okay, so is it possible? I say, yeah, it's possible. But I think like, everyone like the same. I think here as well, like, when we're like presenting, we might have like a tendency to sleep. Okay, we might have the tendency to like, to sleep, like, because it's kind of like we got bored with the presentation. Okay, if like, you're going for the Viva, try to like, highlight all these important points into the one slide. Okay, I remember like, I don't have right now, I have another laptop. Okay, I make like a one chart. Okay, one chart in one page. Okay, my title. Okay, my research questions, my research objective. Okay, my research gaps. Okay, the research gap, and then methodology, key findings, and then conclusion. Okay, and then this what I showed that, I showed to the examiner during my third year review. Okay, when I'm submitting, before I'm submit to the Viva. Okay, I have to, have like a mini Viva with my research committee. Okay, so I didn't do the slide. However, as I said, like, I in the one page, I highlight these important points, and then I showed to the examiners. Okay, so I showed to the examiners, and by reading that, they get some like, brief idea all about my research, and it is my mini Viva. Okay, so it's helpful. So that's why I always advise, like, I'm conducting seminar for the to be a best, how to be the best speaker. Okay, I always like, even in my conference, even in my conference slides, I won't like exceed my slide more than 5, because like, I don't want to like drag my presentation more than drag my presentation for unnecessarily. So if you look at here also, I have like a 6 to like, 6 slides as well. Okay, so I will like try to highlight the important points into the slide, and then I explain, because this is my topic. So I'm the one who are responsible to explain to the audience. Okay, I take the responsibility. So same goes to the Viva. Okay, I took the responsibility because I'm the one who did the research. So I'm there to explain to the examiners, okay, what is my research all about. Okay, so in even I did the same thing for my I start to do I start to do the thing like from my second year. Okay, from the second year up to my Viva, up to my right now, like, for my seminars, for my, for my conference presentation, I'm like, I will make sure that I don't exceed my slide more than 5. Okay, so I will take all the important points I put into the one page, and then I will explain to them. So when you're going for the Viva, okay, try to like, make it like easier for you and for the examiners as well. Okay, so it's easier, like, the moment like, you start your slide, you explain about the background of the study, research questions. Okay, what are the key studies, what are the research gap, okay, the method, key finding, and conclusion. Okay, so once you're done with that, the examiners will be happier. Okay, because like, you ease their work, and then they will start the questions, because when we are making others comfortable, they'll make us comfortable as well. Okay, so remember that, because examiners as a human as well, so they, they have some things like, they also have some, they will get bored when we are like explaining. I know that like one of my friends, okay, they're presenting, and when they're presenting anything, it will goes up to the 15 or 16, and I ask them, why like you torturing the audience, like, why can't like you do less than 10 slides, because you are there to explain. So you know what's the important points they have to know. So you are the responsible person over there to explain to them without making them bored with your presentation. Okay, so try to that. Okay, try to do that. Okay, so here, like, I didn't like share what are the possible this is the real questions is going to be asked by the examiners. End of the day, the question is like it depends on the examiners and your thesis. Okay, what are lacking off in your thesis, that is going to be the questions for the examiners. Okay, if they have some doubt on your method part, they're going to ask about the method part. Okay, if they think like you didn't like include you didn't include the up to date researchers or studies, they'll ask you what are the key studies that you have you have identified in your research. Okay, so if they think like your objective, your question is not up to the your methodology, and then they'll ask you why you have mentioned this in your questions, in your research questions, but however it's not related. Okay, in research question you say how. However, in methodology, you're doing a quantitative. How does it happen? Okay, that's how. So what is lacking of in your thesis? What they really want to know from your thesis? That is a question from the examiners. Okay, you can't okay, I won't say don't don't do the preparation from the 40 questions for 100 questions that we can get from the Google. Okay, you can do the preparation, but don't depend too much on that. Okay, because just be open-minded. Okay, because you just remind yourself that you're going to share your experience, you're going to share the story, okay, with the examiners, with the facts. Okay, so that's how it will going to reduce your nervous. Okay, it's going to reduce your anxiety. Okay, so when you stick to stick like a too being too rigid, okay, you stick with that questions this is the real question is going to be asked the examiners. End of the day, when the if the examiner twists a little bit of the questions, you may end up anxiety. Okay, so you're not able to answer that. Okay, so for example, okay, maybe in the from the Google, okay, you may get a 40 or 50 possible questions of the for the VIVA. Okay, one of the top question is explain us to you explain to us about your research gaps. Okay, okay, you have memorized all the you memorize all the answers, you how to answer all this, and then you went to the you go for the VIVA. Okay, you meet the examiner, and the examiner said, okay, could you explain for us what is so novelty, or what is what we lacking of in the current field, in the current research in the field. Okay, so they're asking about the research gap, but because they twist a little bit in the questions, so you might be think you don't know which answer is going to be suit for that question. Okay, so it's okay, you prepare your yourself before you go for the VIVA. It's okay, it's totally fine, you prepare yourself with these possible questions, but don't stick too rigid with them. Okay, just be open-minded. Okay, just remember you are like a storytelling to your examiners. What is your thesis? Okay, okay, what is your research, what are the process, and so on. Okay, so end of the day, when once they call you doctor, or they said you're passed your VIVA, you won't remember anything. Okay, you won't remember anything. You just you will stand in the dreamland. You're just asking yourself, if I finished, did I completed my PhD? Did I is it real thing? Is it real things happening right now? Okay, so don't worry. Okay, just be relaxed. Okay, just be relaxed. Trust me, because I've been there. Okay, and my friends been there. So this is the same things. Like if you go and ask your seniors or your juniors who are done with the VIVA, this is the things they will say. They can't believe that they completed their VIVA. So this it's after that is it's nothing. The VIVA is nothing for you. Okay, so it just get uncomfortable for the very first of 15 minutes or 10 minutes, and then you will start to enjoy your share your experience with your examiners. Okay, so I think that's all from me for today. Okay, because I don't want to give a false promise, I say this is the questions you can expect it from the examiners, because as I said, it's a unexpected journey. Okay, unexpected journey. Okay, we don't know what experience is going to question you. Okay, we can say like they have particular questions, but it's not going to be similar what is going through by the others. Okay, so just be open minded, relax. Okay, always remember, like when you're going for the viva, for those who are going for the viva, going for the presentation. Okay, just remember this is storytelling. I'm the person who responsible to explain, to explain to them. Okay, explain to them, and and try to practice yourself. Okay, don't exceed your presentation more than 5 or 7. At least make it like within 10 slides. Okay, trust me, the audience will be happier when you do so. Okay, thank you Sakshi, thank you Research Circle. That's all from me for today.
Thank you so much for this very nice session, ma'am. If anyone has any question, you can ask.
Any questions, Sakshi?
Yeah, I think no one have any question, ma'am. Thank
Okay,
you so much, all the participants, for your active participation. Let me inform to all that this complete session will be available on our Research Circle YouTube channel. So if you want to watch it again or want to share it to somebody, please do visit the Research Circle YouTube channel. Thanks. And last but not the least, thank you, Mugneshwari Sahadevan ma'am, for taking out time for session. With your permission, I would like to end today's session here, ma'am. Thank
yeah,
you.
thank you Sakshi, thank you, bye.